Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And as Maury Povich would say, the lie detector determines he's telling the truth. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the dumbest adulterers of 2025.
But what if the village is retarded?
Alright, so boom, this video went viral across all of social media following a Coldplay concert, or I should say during. They were doing a kiss cam, probably in between songs, because I don't think there'd be a scenario in which you do a kiss cam during the song, but somebody can verify that in the chat room. But they were doing a kiss cam, and anybody who's ever gone to a show, a game, anything in which kiss cams are involved within a stadium, arena, whatever the case is, you have two things you can do when the camera makes it to you. Either one, you kiss, or two, what Goldust told his wife, Marlena, or I should say ex-wife at the time, Marlena/Terry Runnels, don't sell it. You already know you doing nefarious activities at this venue. You already knew if you make a move, they gonna mess around and post this on social media. Just don't react. Matter of fact, he could have just did this. You don't provide a reaction. Why? Because you have to take into account somebody's gonna have their phone recording reactions. We've seen countless different people get exposed on kiss cams, whether it had been adultery in the past or if it was embarrassing moments. They did that brother dirty, and there's been a number of different embarrassing moments like that where somebody got curved and then all of a sudden the other party kisses somebody else. A number of them have been staged, but I think this one actually was legitimate, one way or another. All he had to do was either provide no reaction or go and provide a kiss, and this would have been forgotten. But instead, you duck out the way like motherfuckers ain't already see you.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
This dude is a CEO. This woman, the head of HR. Apparently they both married. So you outside publicly while cheating in the skybox. You should have never done anything to make the situation hot. And furthermore, they weren't even the first couple on this kiss cam. There was other couples, and then they made their way to these two nincompoops. The moment that you recognize what segment they had going on, you should have let go of each other and went about your doggone ways, because clearly you ain't trying to draw attention to the fact that the two of y'all is cheating on your spouses together. You should have went towards the door. You could have possibly went away from each other for the remainder of the segment and then came back together. But the mere fact that you would do this, and then once the camera come to you, now you want to duck out the way. Y'all are shuphead. Incredibly dumb. And furthermore, you had ops recording you in the skybox. Because how did TMZ get a back angle? Somebody had to send this to him. It's not as if you had a private investigator tailing these two motherfuckers and said, we gonna do everything we can to dig up as much possible dirt as we can. This shit came out of left field. I promise you the two spouses had no idea.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah. The sheer irony in this entire scandal is the fact that the woman involved is literally head of HR. Your entire position is informing and enforcing employees not to act inappropriately with each other. And here you are on the grand stage acting inappropriate with the CEO while you married to another CEO. Make it make sense. You're a walking hypocrite. Everything you say is the antithesis of what it is that you do. Your sheer existence is antithetical. And you over here supposed to maintain your position as the head of HR when you essentially lying to everybody who you enforcing rules on? Make it make sense.
Listen.
Shorty must be riding the CEO carousel. If you happen to be a chief executive officer, beware, because this harlot is definitely prepared to allow you to slip underneath her labia majora, infiltrate her labia minora, bypass the hymen, invade her vaginal canal, greet her Grafenberg spot, say hello to her clitoris, and then allow you to enter and exit and enter and exit and enter and exit and enter and exit and enter and exit her vulva region while making contact with the cervix so that it can rain all kinds of secretion on a rod to O-Town. You about to have a bad actually, now that I think about it, I just so happen to be a CEO as well. Hold on.
That's gonna be a good little piece of business.
Oh no.
Take this as a lesson. If you happen to be cheating and you out in public and they put the kiss cam on you, be like the bananas that they shot right after these two goofballs. Just jump up and down and they gonna move on to somebody else. Nobody will remember you. You'll live as a memory in people's phone in a video they're most likely gonna delete in order to create storage space. They could have got away with it, but they dumbasses wanted to go and duck and dodge, and now look, endless meme.
Babe, I swear it's a corporate team building exercise.
Shortly after everything went viral, they were both placed on leave. And then he puts out a statement that makes situations even worse. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company that I helped build. I'm taking time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps. Personally and professionally, I ask for privacy as I navigate the process. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we all can think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once saying, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
How dare you catch me cheating without my consent? I'm suing.
Sir, what are you talking about? Turn the private moment public. You at a show where they doing kiss cams. Why would you think the camera couldn't possibly go on you? Are you dumb? Are you stupid?
Is the man retarded?
You think the cameraman went to the show and said, that's the CEO over there. We knew he bought the tickets. We looked at the names at the box office. Let's go and expose him. Nobody knew you was there, stupid. You the one who decided to go and hold shorty arms like this a motherfucking Titanic remake in front of the doggone kiss cam and then react in a manner that would invoke people to go and post a reaction on social media. Then not recognizing it's a global platform, somebody gonna recognize, say, hold on, wait a minute, ain't that? And now all of a sudden your life in shambles because you made a unilateral decision to pull up to the doggone show and cheat. This man over here in the same breath of talking about taking accountability, flips it and says, well, I don't have 100% of the responsibility of what transpired at the show. They should have never put the camera on me, and the people are vilifying me by posting it across social media. It was supposed to be a private manner. Anything you do in the dark most likely will come to light, because some people can mess around and get away with you. But why would you think that you can go and play in your wife's face and think that motherfucker's not gonna be able to identify that?
People this stupid shouldn't be allowed to live.
Situations like this is why I've always said, having affairs, mistresses, is that the reverse of mistress? Somebody let me know in the comment section. Work husbands, work wives, it's incredibly stupid because you're building rapport, you're building a relationship with this person, and you're actively playing in your spouse's face in front of other people. You think the co-workers probably didn't see this brewing over time? There was a lady who looked incredibly embarrassed. At first they thought she was also on staff, but turns out she wasn't. But whatever the case may be, you think the people around them didn't know what was going on? There has to be somebody within the interworkings of the company that knew this was going on and essentially had to play the game of remaining silent and turning the blind eye. Either they were in fear of their job or maybe they just didn't want to be messy and get involved. They probably had holiday parties where both spouses has met each other. They met each other and didn't know what was going on, depending on how long this happened to be going on. There was an article that said the woman had just bought a house with her new husband 5 months ago, and you moving like this in public. If you was gonna cheat, do that shit behind closed doors where nobody else knows about it except the two of you, or somebody had to really be looking deep into the inner workings of how you're navigating day by day in order to go and catch you. But when you do stuff like this, it's so incredibly sloppy. You spit not only in the face of your spouse, but in your entire family, because it's not just the spouses who are affected, fam. You got the company looking crazy. People who actually go and partner with you and work with you, they also looking crazy, because why would you do business with somebody who's moving incredibly shady like this in public? Say what you want. There's a bunch of people who's always moving crazy, but if you have any level of integrity, you don't want to do business with people like this.
He should fucking die.
Because you're bringing negative publicity to the company, but albeit, this is social media. So call it what it is. By the time the fall, winter rolls around, and definitely by next summer, most folks wouldn't even remember this. But the memes gonna live on forever. And if you happen to be somebody who's directly involved, the timeline for you to be able to get over this and escape it is gonna be much longer, because people are gonna continually send it to you and pester you. And all it takes is somebody just walking in the street to recognize you as a playing party, even if you did nothing wrong, particularly for the spouses, just knowing your sheer association with the person. Ain't you and immediately all that trauma is gonna mess around and come back. That's why you gotta be very smart of how you move in public. Because literally, you could be somebody who's not a public figure. Something's done, you made a public figure overnight. That's why you gotta move incredibly smart, diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. That's why I'm the Chiseled Adonis. So you gotta make sure you moving diligent as well.
Things I'm smart, not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart.
I don't think so, Fredo, because the CEO had to resign. As of 3 minutes ago, man's had to step down from his position. Why? Because your dumbass was moving sloppy in the streets. And there is no doubt in my mind, most likely come next week, at one point during the week, the HR lady gonna have to step down as well. Because there ain't no way you gonna do stuff like this in public and think there's not gonna be repercussions for it. I feel bad for the family. Because like I said prior, the biggest issue that's going to persist is the circulation of these videos on social media, so you feel as if you cannot escape that trauma. because months down the line, social media will move on from it for all intents and purposes. It may not be mainly in circulation on Twitter or whatever the case is. People will always go and reference it. I'm 100% gonna go and reference it, but the family's gonna have to go and relive it every time they see it and reopen that wound. So it's incredibly stupid to do stuff like this out in the open. And these two need to be dealt with. In conclusion, moral of this story, Coldplay hadn't recorded a single in nearly a year, but somehow on one day, they were able to make 2 singles in one night. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.